Good morning, everybody. Meteorologist Jaret Lansford here to guide you through the morning commute here for the next 15 minutes or so as we deal with the aftermath of yesterday's snow. A lot of us ended up with 6 to 9 inches in the metro. The crews have been busy working to try to get that cleared off of a lot of the roads, but we do still have some problems that we're seeing as we're starting off our day. And I want to start off with a crash that we have that's in place on I-480. And we'll see if we have a view of this here. We kind of have the camera moving all over the place from NDOT. So it is getting close to clearing out. We're getting a little bit better view of it, but this is much better than what we did have on 480. This is just past Martha. So as you're approaching Martha, things still a little bit backed up, as you can see in that shot. But we're about to have that crash cleared that we've been tracking for a little while. I guess I'll wait and see if they do turn back. This is a good reminder that we don't have control of the camera shots from Nebraska DOT. They have the ability to move those around, so we're kind of at the mercy of whatever is being shown. Let me show you the map and show you what things are looking like with that area. And you can see the delays do stretch back almost to Leavenworth. Some pretty slow travel there. That should start improving as we see that crash getting very close to being cleared, but use some caution as you head through that stretch. We've also had a crash that was eastbound Dodge at the exit ramp to 180th. That one likely on the ramp with that. You can see traffic a little slow on Dodge, but not being impacted too greatly from that one. That is likely more on the exit that you have that one. And then a little further to the east, been tracking this one as well. This is I-29 northbound as you're approaching Council Bluffs, as you're getting close to Highway 92. We actually have two different semis that are in the ditch. One is in the median on the left-hand side, and one is on the right-hand side. So you need to use caution as you're heading through that area. Certainly looking quite slick as you head through that stretch. And I know I have a still image of this one. I don't know that I have a video feed, but yeah, you could see this is actually a little bit of an older look at what was happening probably about an hour ago. And you can at least see the one that's on the left-hand side there. But since then, we've added another one over here. So use caution as you're heading through that stretch. It's going to be a morning where you just want to, in general, have that approach of using caution, because we have seen some big improvements on some roads, but we've also seen some other roads that have not quite gotten there yet. Crews are out and about. They're working hard to try to get things into a better state, but it's a process. Anytime you start getting 6 to 9 inches of snow in a short period, it takes a little while to get that cleared off. So let me show you the view around the metro. I'm actually going to take this full screen so you can get a little bit of a better view of this and take this graphic out. So top left is what you were just looking at. That's 480 with some of the backups that are in place as you are making your way toward Martha. The top right, this is a look at Dodge right near 90th, and this has improved so much from when we started the show. This was completely coated in snow. Since that time, you can see that we've got the pavement visible now. So things are improving there, and this even shows you there's even a little bit of sun glare. And keep in mind, you have fresh snow on the ground, so that's a hazard that's probably sneaky this morning. Have the sunglasses, be ready for some glare, both from the sun and reflecting off of the snow. I will say, not all of Dodge looks that good. It's still pretty good and working in the right direction as you're further to the west. But on our 144th in Dodge camera, you could see that there is still a little bit of some snow on the roads. Especially you could see on 144th as you're going onto some of the entrance and exit ramps that there's some packed down snow that's showing up. These are the sort of things you need to watch for. Let me pull that full screen again. I didn't mean to do that, but where that vehicle was just driving that took off to the right, see how that's packed down? That's the sort of thing you want to be watching for that could create the slick conditions as you're heading out and about this morning. Let's look at another camera. This is as you're going through the Midtown area, Blackstone, and you can see that there's still some snow on some of those roads as well. Any of your neighborhoods are likely going to have worse conditions for a longer time. It's a good time to remind you of that as you're heading out and about, that you get into the neighborhoods. It just takes longer to get into those areas and get those cleared off. Crews start on the main routes and then work their way onto some of those neighborhood roads as the other ones do clear out. So be ready for that to be a spot where things could be worse for your drive. What else we're looking at? Looks like we have a view of the 80 and 680 interchange here, and you can see the traffic is moving. Again, you do still have a little bit of that snow that's in some of those lanes, and this is one of those mornings where it might sneak up on you with some of those slick spots in at times. So be aware of that. That's something you need to keep in mind. Let me show you how things evolve through the morning. So right now we still have some areas where we definitely have some slick spots that will likely be in place for a couple more hours. We'll continue to improve pretty steadily though as the morning goes on. We've got that sunshine in place, snow has stopped, the wind is calming down, so a lot of things lining up really well to see that continued improvement through the course of the morning. So the later it gets in the day, the better the travel is going to get. This is kind of the inverse of what we did yesterday when we were talking about things getting worse as we got into those evening hours. It'll likely be better for the evening commute today than what we have this morning. So things will improve as we get into the afternoon. Let me show you the overall map of what we've got going on through the metro. And you can see you still have those delays that are in place as you are heading on southbound 480 where that crash was in place, right around Martha. A lot of our other roads are just people kind of using extra caution with that yellow shading that you're seeing. Haven't had a lot of recent issues that have popped in. Keeping an eye on a couple of possible crashes. We'll bring you more if we get some validation on those being in place. But you can see that there's some slowdowns that are happening on a number of our roads. And you just want to keep in mind, you're in on the main roads, maybe the occasional slick spot, but we are improving. On some of your side streets, it's likely going to be pretty rough this morning. And as you get outside of the metro, you're probably looking at some mixed bag results as far as what the roads look like, with some partial coverage possible. Let's see if I can give you another view here while we continue checking some things out. Let me show you what 144th and Dodge is looking like at this point. And we'll watch this here for just a little bit. So things are moving here, 144th and Dodge. Again, use some caution. You can kind of see how some of that snow is a little bit packed down as you're going on some of those interchanges. There's what I'm talking about right there. That could result in some slick areas. If you were watching this morning, Maria Cade was in Storm Tracker and giving you some good updates on what you were seeing as you were going out and about on the roads. Kind of lining up with what we're seeing at this point, too, where a lot of the main roads are moving along in pretty decent shape with just the occasional slick spot to watch for. And then once you got off of those main roads, you started running into some more problems. So it's just a good morning to use a little extra caution. We have had worse commutes than this. We've had many that are better, though. Anytime you start getting after a snowstorm, you're going to be looking at things not quite up to speed. But we also have a number of schools that are canceled for the day. So there is less traffic out there trying to navigate those conditions, and that should help us out, too, with how things are going. There's one more look of the map of the metro, and you can see that that 480 crash has fully cleared. We are looking at the delays even gone at this point, so great news for anyone who's heading through that spot. We don't have to worry about that. If you're wondering further to the west, 275 has kind of a similar outline between Fremont and Elkhorn. Just a little bit of a delay there right near Highway 30, but nothing that substantial as far as issues early this morning. So we'll just continue to watch this as we go through the rest of the morning. There's bound to be a couple more issues that do pop up, and we'll first alert you to those. Again, just one more reminder, use some extra caution, especially as you make your way off of some of those main routes. That's where you could run into some bigger problems, as it takes just a little longer to get things cleared out after the crews start on the main roads. But weather will work fully in our favor this morning in trying to get these road conditions to improve quickly. I'll be on air in just a little over 5 minutes with another update on the conditions and where things are heading as far as our forecast. Hope you join me there. Hope you have a great rest of your day and weekend, and stay warm. It's going to be a lot colder than what we've been seeing.